let's talk about motivation in the morning. So let me give a story about what used to motivate me a few years back. So I have a friend, his name is Kevin. Kevin introduced me to Apple products. And he introduced me through an iPod. So there was this small iPod, the red one. I don't remember the model, what they used to call them, but the small one which you just used to, you connect it to the laptop, to the computer to add music, and you connect a jack to it to put your ear your headphones or your earpiece. So so he introduced me to an iPod. That was so many years ago. So with this iPod, oh my goodness, the pod is everywhere. So with this iPod, I last time I used to listen to R&B, the 2000, early 2000 R&B. But I used to find it so repetitive, so repetitive. So I started looking for alternative music. I started looking for genres of music which come out so frequently, and a lot of music comes out such that I can always listen to new music as frequent as it comes out. Uh, and it probably is dependent on my exposure, where I was getting music from, and all that. Yeah, but in my endeavor to look for music, for some reason, I ended up landing on dancehall music, which is Jamaican music, but the dancehall, the upbeat music, the raunchy, the raunchy music. And I found this, now they would release, the DJs would release this podcast, and I had some DJs who would release new music every week. I had some three DJs who I used to follow, then eventually ended up having two consistent ones. And those DJs really kept me going. Like I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning, get ready so fast because I couldn't wait to put my earpiece in my ears and just put that loud music, that dancehall music. I've grown in Nairobi, and in Nairobi, what we have buses, and these buses we call them matatus, and the matatus have very very loud. These guys invest in music. They put big speakers, their subwoofers at the back. You'll have big screens in front of you on each seat, at the front there behind the driver. Like they would invest in music on these buses. One of the things I used to wonder every morning is because now early days I was just an R&B guy, so you'd get in a bus and find they put this upbeat music, and I would wonder who wakes up to this kind of, like, I would prefer when they put the Michael Bolton, like the blues, the slow music in the morning when you're going to work or when you're going. Then I would, for me, the upbeat music should be for the afternoon and something. So sometimes I get in the bus in the morning and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't like this upbeat music in the morning. But now a couple of years later, and I've been introduced to the iPod, I realized, man, there's nothing as good as waking up to that loud, upbeat music. And that's how I got into just listening to dancehall music. And my DJs would really do a good job. But something happened in 2022. They just they just both vanished. And they were not DJs at the same place. They might have been using the same hosting servers to upload their podcasts, but they just went off exactly at the same time. And one of the DJs was called he was called Young Lion. Young Lion, his Twitter is Young Lion 21, and he was a UK-based DJ, and he had worked in BBC. Why is it One Extra? He had won some accolades for DJing. He really had a very nice episode. But from 2022, he disappeared, and all his uploads just went off the internet. And only two episodes remained, which were his last two episodes, which was episode 487 and 488. And I really felt bad because at the time I had downloaded literally all of them. but then because of space, what I deleted. The other DJ, the other DJs that I really used to like were called Selector Killer and the Original Human. Those DJs, man, those were based out of Belgium, and they used to have a radio, a radio gig, and I think they used to record this radio gig, and that is what they used to upload as a uh, as a dancehall mix. And I used to love these two DJs until now. I'm yet to come across um, DJs who are uploading latest because over time dancehall has changed. That time Vibes Cartel, Alkaline, Popcorn, all those were the top hitters. But now with the new crop of new dancehall artists, despite the fact that Vibes Cartel has come out, but there's some new crop of artists. I feel like I'm missing out because for me, I like new music. I like to adapt. I like to change with what is current, and I feel like there's that gap. So nowadays, I'm only maybe liking a bit of DJ Puffy. I see myself in him, but it's only that in his mixes he has to basically bring in the crowd, so he will play a bit of everything. So the only thing I really like about him is I don't know where he'll take me with the next song. Every time I'm listening, I don't know where the next song will take me, and that is what I really like in a DJ. But I miss my two DJs. Recently, DJ Young Lion had availed his episodes on Boomplay, but then all of a sudden, again they became inaccessible. So I don't know. So nowadays I've switched back to what do you call it, like talking, the audio, the talking podcast, not the music podcast. So right now I'm on Joe Biden, Rory Amal, and the mics are open. These other ones, I pick one episode. I have not created a love relationship with any of the other ones. Yeah, and that is how I mostly spend my day or my free time, listening to podcasts or editing what I've So let me talk about being mentored, and this is a follow up from the other video that I had made about the mentors who have supported me so far until where I am. And in the course of my life, I've also been privileged to sort of mentor a few of my friends and my colleagues, and it doesn't go without some learnings. I think life is all a curve where you learn the goods and the bads. You also learn yourself. Actually, when you mentor or when you teach somebody, you also tend to be good in some of the topics that you're also trying to disperse to the other person. But you also learn how to handle some challenges which you might not have seen before. One of the most basic things I've seen continuously and consistently, and I even realized it within myself, apparently that is the exact thing also I had gone through, is that there is sort of a resistance, but this resistance is not known to the person who's being mentored. And I put it in a different way. I had this guy who was training me on the job, and his name was David. So David was running me through, because I was learning on the job. So he was always handy to show me what I need to do, the things I need to learn, all those things. Yeah. And I remember we really used to argue because some things I always felt like he was just telling me because he knows it is supposed to. He doesn't have a background explanation for it, but he knows this is how it works. And if you don't do it like this, it doesn't work. And anytime I would do it differently, it would fail. I remember there's a time I think I brought down the whole network because we had a satellite. We have a satellite network, so we have a lot of customers connecting to the main hub system, and they brought down that system. I don't even think I brought it down once. I think I brought it down several. And this guy would always. I even later got to understand why somebody would sit on a password and they would not avail it to you, or somebody would not be willing to give you some credentials. Sometimes they create a basic user login credentials for you. But that time you're feeling like, oh, I'm being denied access, I'm being denied the privilege to configure and to do things. But little do you know that this person is trying to protect you, because any misconfiguration, or if you bring the network down, then it becomes a problem even to the management, because they have to be answerable to the customers. Like, it has a very big ripple effect, and you don't know the SLAs and the agreements that have been signed between your organization and the customer. So later I came to understand, but then I never used to understand. So one of the main things I have come to learn is that there is a very you have to, if you're mentoring somebody, you have to be very patient with the deflection that the people you're mentoring create in the name of trying to learn. Most of the time it is unknowingly. They don't know that they are resisting, they don't know that they are arguing, they don't know that they are wrong. And most of the time it becomes sometimes even confrontational, because the person being mentored does not see it immediately. And that is one of the things for me I learned very fast, because for me with my superiors, because once I came to realize and give up my ego and my pride to this person to make sure they mentor me and they teach me, I became very humble, even in situations where I feel like I need to defend myself, or I need to say something. Because in me, I've come to learn, you have first to have a conversation with yourself that, now I'm talking about if you're being mentored, you have to have a conversation with yourself that the truth is you don't know, and you need somebody to guide you. So if you don't know and you need somebody to guide you, then it goes without saying that you have to allow this person to guide you, and you have to take the instructions and follow, because repetitively following the instructions, you start to realize what this mentor person is saying to you. So there are two sides of the coin here. From the mentor's side, the mentor has to learn that because of personality differences and probably the interest of the person, which, okay, although for me also the interest comes in, because I get disappointed very fast if I feel you're not interested. And being interested is not saying that I am interested. Being interested is shown through results. It is shown through adaptation. What the person being mentored is demonstrating to be adapting and to be embracing. So on one side is the person who is mentoring. They have to be able to understand that the resistance or the pushback that person being mentored is seemingly doing is not in bad way. It is them learning, but also trying to bring in the thought that they think they know. On the other hand, from the mentor's person, you need to realize that you're learning. You need to understand that this is, because in this one there is no exam. Okay? In this one, it is just a willing person administering their experience or their knowledge to you, who should also be willing to learn. So that is one of the things, I think one of the most basic things I have come to observe. And it takes time for these two people to resonate together. How I used to do it, especially with my boss, who I really respect and I appreciate, because he's also taken the risks to give me opportunities which I don't think I would have gotten just from the blues here. One of the things I have always done is to record my boss. And I also let him, I also have at some point let him know that I do that. And it is because I want to listen to what, because most of the time when it is a first time engagement. Say, for example, somebody has called you to their office, and they have called you. You don't know what they're about to tell you, but once you go there, they give you guidance. I would need you to do this. This is what you're supposed to do. This is, or maybe you've gone to seek advice. Maybe, for example, I'm preparing a quotation. I don't know what I'm supposed to consider in the quotation. When I go to his office, or if I call him virtually and he has to show me things online, maybe on Teams, sometimes he will do calculations that I don't even know how that calculation is done. Yeah, maybe he's doing that PMT. What was PMT in high school or in campus? See, I'm forgetting. Like a PMT calculation where you have to charge somebody, let's say, equipment for a contract of 10 years. So there is interest in there are things in there. And then it is not a calculation I do every day, but he is knowledgeable and he will do that and tell you, okay, on the quote, charge this monthly. That knowledge, whatever he has done in that space, I would want to understand it. And he's not a person who I can come to 5 times to ask the same kind of explanation, because most of the time he's just doing it for you to go and continue. But I want to understand the calculation. So most of the time I will do the recording, I will go over it, I will listen again, I will try and see where he tried to guide me, what he was trying to tell me. Sometimes he'll call me, maybe we are doing our appraisal, and he will give me his sentiments. And most of the time in that appraisal, because doing appraisal, it's just about being cooked. When you go for an appraisal, it's just about being cooked. It's just being, you know, cooked because your performance has not been, 100%. It is not even 50%. So yes, you'll be cooked. But when you leave that appraisal, you have to leave with value, the advice, the guidance, where you've gone wrong, and you cannot capture all that in your mind within the span of the same. Remember, you're already maybe a bit tensed because uh, not very friendly words are gonna come your way. But again, you're also being corrected and guided and being advised where you've been wrong and where your improvement areas are. So most of the time, I will take the recording, I will go and release it. That's how I learned to overcome arguing and challenging. Because sometimes my boss will tell me, I have told you this 5 times. I should be able to know those 5 times should not even be reoccurring. Okay, apparently sometimes they do reoccur, but it is maybe probably sometimes I overlook some advice and it has to be repeated. And remember, when somebody repeats twice or thrice, they become agitated because if you're not seeing the point, then you're not interested, and you have to keep showing the interest. So I think in the mentorship journey, both as a person who's been being mentored and has been mentored, and I'm also trying to mentor some of my friends and colleagues. Uh, that is mainly what I've learned, and what I've also learned is that when the mentor is trying to mentor somebody, it is not to their interest to mentor you. It has to be the interest of the person. It is your interest to learn that makes the person who is guiding you to feel comfortable to give you the details and the information. So if somebody has to go through something twice or thrice, then they start getting disappointed and they start backing away, because if you're interested, then you would pick up the advice. So it's an interesting journey. I will encourage you to go out there. One of the things I've always learned in life is that as long as you teach somebody something, you become better at that something. There's also some saying, some English saying, which I don't remember very well. So when you teach somebody, or when you mentor somebody based on the questions that come, based on the things that somebody will raise, you also become better at it. You become more of an expert in it. And again, psychologically, you start to learn different human behaviors attract different attentions. So there's somebody who will argue, there's somebody who you have to repeat twice or thrice, there's somebody you need to write for. It's just a different environment. So that's mainly what I've learned. I haven't read a lot of books. There is a gentleman I watch on YouTube. The channel is called ValueTainment. So he has some good advices, some guidance. Though mostly he's doing interviews and he's doing all those other things. But yeah, that is mainly he has some good content and some advices. Six things to be a good salesperson. 10 things to reach your potential. And such things. He has. I know most of you have different people out there who have good content that people consume. You can give me a few pointers also in the comment section. So back to them, we want to wish you a great day, a great week. The month has come to an end. We are headed to November. Watch out for a lot of content from my end. I am going to try and be more frequent. I know I've been away for a while. Uh, I've realized consistency, as much as it is key, I think a lot of other things come into play. For me, first of all, it is my mood. Like I have to be in the right state of mind to be able to record, because I don't prepare, I don't write notes. I just have to bring in the idea of what I want to talk about, and then I go on a free flow. So sometimes it is my mood or my state of mind. But again, it's a good thing to always put out something. It makes me feel really good. And people that know that I'm recording, editing, and I'm gonna upload, when I record, I am always anxious to finish editing and upload for all of you to consume. Let me finish preparing. So let's back to the. So in my bag, I have some notes, and some newer notebooks, my glasses, which go in there. Then I have my charger. This one takes my headphones. Uh, this is how we back to go to work. Mondays are not very motivated on Mondays. So normally I use my Mondays to plan the week. Sometimes I plan the week over the weekend, but I still replan the week again on Monday. Why I do that is sometimes I don't want to waste my Monday, so sometimes I will sit and review. Sometimes I'll just sit and review the plan that I made for the week, and then I'll check again. This week I have to do budget for 2026. We did an initial meeting last week with our CFO. So this week we have to prepare and do the presentation for approval. Last year I was involved. I made a plan. I've not quite achieved anything much. I'm actually doing sales, so I have to plan for revenue and my budget for my sales team for this year. My last my fare is normally 15. Is a 15, so I always put my 15 aside, so that it is easy to access it when I'm paying the bus. Yeah, my things are set. I always carry this because uh, it's important. I don't have anything else. I leave my extension. I also use this. This is my roll-on. I don't like it, but this is what I found in the market here that I prefer. But I'm still on the lookout for something I would really like. I'm also interested in getting some spray, but I'm yet to find. I don't know why I don't like the Somali or the Arabic, not Somali, the Arabic sprays that are there. So it's, it's taking some time for me to find what I would really like, but all good, all good. This is what we would call get ready with me. I really don't know why we are getting ready together. So I've been thinking about uh, if I'm going to manage to travel back to Kenya, at least for the festivities. But I'm not sure. I'm not made up my mind. I don't know why something just tells me to go ahead and stay a bit longer before I travel back. Financially, I've not prepared myself. First of all, that is one of my challenges. I've not prepared myself properly, so I've not saved up. I've not put together enough finances for me to be able to travel back. So it's still something I'm trying to process, because it's now October. It's the last week of October, so it means it's November and December. And I don't think right now I'm ready yet to travel back. I don't think I have accumulated enough. And normally it's not just about traveling. There's a lot that happens. Like right now, if I was to travel back, I would need to also go and be able to handle a few of the things that are pending on that side. So if I got some money now, would it be wiser to travel, or to use the money to first finish my project, or do or handle the things that I'm supposed to handle over there? I think it is a combination of factors. I am not very sure what to do. So I'm still not sure. I came here in November 14th. That means last year Christmas time I was here, and I am unfortunately seeing as though I will find myself here over this Christmas. So I don't know what to do. But for now, let's wind up this video right here. I want to wish you guys the greatest last week of October. I'll be back for this past November. Cross my fingers. But nevertheless, I enjoyed the morning. I enjoyed getting ready. I enjoyed everything. So the only thing I'll do is that I will apply my cologne. I'll take my petroleum jelly, apply my face and my hands, and then brush my head, and I'll be ready to step out. Until the next time, wait. If it is your first time here and you have not subscribed, I would request, I beg, kindly subscribe, share and like, comment, so that I know what kind of content you like. Otherwise, I will continue showing up on your screens with different stories, different experiences, and different insights into life stuff. So yeah, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Gang gang. The next one.